For many years there has been a belief that happiness is something to be earned, to be endured, like waiting for the weather. However, this belief is far from the truth. True happiness can be very near, underfoot, within reach, but often people pass by without noticing its presence. But there comes a moment when the celestial bodies change their position and the planets begin to speak. From June 6 through the end of the month, a powerful chain of astrological transits is forming, promising significant changes. These are not just subtle energies or abstract vibrations, but tangible blows to reality that can bring long-awaited changes in various areas of life. Money, peace, recognition, love, all of these can suddenly appear on the horizon. It is important to be ready to accept these gifts, so that then do not regret the missed opportunities, because such favorable periods open only once a decade and only to those who dare to act. June 6, Venus returns to Taurus, which symbolizes not only romantic moods, but also the acquisition of a clear vector in life. This is the time to determine the direction of travel, to finalize unnecessary matters, and to channel energy in the right direction. Venus in Taurus takes the position of hostess rather than guest, and she doesn't ask for willingness. She points to true values and desires, urging you to stop suppressing them. Taurus symbolizes stability, quality of life, sincere respect and, most importantly, a sense of independence from other people's rules. It is about a person's inner world, his true values, which form his second home. This is the place where the grains are separated from the chaff, where it is determined what is really important and what is just unnecessary junk. Before, a person could be guided by other people's expectations, but now doubts and fears like, what if it doesn't work out, should be left in the past, at the threshold of a new life. The deep desires are not ephemeral, but rather concrete goals, harmonious relationships where there is no sense of constraint, a job that brings not only livelihood but also comfort, and love without the fear of rejection. Venus, the planet of love and beauty, grants all this, but only if you accept your past. There is no point in bemoaning your mistakes, everyone has the right to make mistakes. There is no need to feel remorse, karma gives a kind of indulgence, of course, if one is honest with oneself. The transition to the third house, symbolizing communication and self-expression, puts even more stringent conditions. It is necessary to overcome fear, stop hiding their true nature, just to avoid other people's judgment. Taurus is often subject to dependence on external approval, but now it is not necessary. Self-confidence is not arrogance, but a sober assessment of their strength. Surroundings will not save and love for constant compromise, love comes when a person stops belittling himself. The new motto for Taurus is to be yourself without shame and pretense, to go where you breathe easily and freely. Venus gives the green light for action, for change, for taking what is rightfully yours. This can mean a change of residence, a revised work schedule, getting rid of someone else's responsibilities. Anything that oppresses should be discarded, and anything that inspires should be strengthened. In June, there is no need to strive to be bold, it is enough just to be yourself. This will be enough for the whole system around to start adjusting to the personality. Since June 8, the planet Mercury begins its movement in the constellation of Cancer, which has a direct impact on the representatives of the sign of Taurus. During this period, the third house of the horoscope of Taurus is activated, which is responsible for communication, exchange of information, development of skills and making short trips. However, the most significant aspect is the possibility of receiving financial compensation for past failures, when Taurus did not show proper persistence in asserting their interests or did not know how to effectively present themselves. Mercury's stay in the water element of Cancer endows Taurus with heightened psychological sensitivity and intuition, while maintaining their desire to achieve concrete, practical results. If Taurus has sales, persuasion, or negotiation skills, now is a good time to apply them, as these skills will bring tangible income. Taurus' persistence and attention to detail is an astrological opportunity to regain financial stability by utilizing their skills and talents. Taurus may have previously been doing something for the soul, such as writing texts, consulting, editing or sales, without perceiving it as a serious source of income. Now these activities can become an effective tool for earning money, especially in the field of online formats and local business. The financial theme comes to the forefront, as Mercury forms a trine to the South Node, indicating a realization of the need to return money that was previously withheld from clients, partners, relatives, or due to an imperfect system. And now Taurus will achieve this through words, letters, and negotiations. Taurus develops psychological stability in matters relating to finances. There is no longer a place for shyness when asking for payment of earnings or fear of rejection, and there is a clear calculation and confidence in their right to receive the funds due. If Taurus works for hire, then during this period there may be a conversation with your boss about increasing your salary or a new idea about how to monetize your skills in the field of information transfer. For Taurus women, this is a time when it is especially important to assert yourself, talk about your desires, comfort needs, and other everyday matters in which they previously preferred to keep silent for some reason. For Taurus men, this is the start of small projects that can bring quick income, especially if they are related to consulting, sales or organization of various processes. The main thing is to use your voice and accumulated experience, not to remain in the shadows. Mercury's influence manifests quite quickly, between June 8 and June 20th. At this time, either a financial response to actions taken comes, or information appears that helps you regain control of your financial situation. And here we come to the most burning question of all, the possibility of getting fabulously rich. Astrologers say that the stars point to this in June. Each representative of the sign of Taurus theoretically, as if under the influence of some magnetic force, hypothetically can begin to happen events that cannot be explained in terms of common sense. Money comes not from the usual sources of income, but as if falling from heaven. Mercury, located in the constellation of Cancer, activates the karmic chain of the 3rd, 8th and 12th houses of the horoscope. And this means only one thing: fate itself returns debts. Suddenly someone transfers an amount that you have long forgotten about, a proposal comes that previously seemed unrealistic, or just a feeling that you were in the right place at the right time, and your intuition does not fail you. It's not just luck, it's the gate to happiness that has opened, and you have a unique chance to change your financial situation forever. Such periods do not fall out often, and if you feel that something unusual is happening, but in a positive way, it is undoubtedly the moment. The main thing is not to miss it. On June 26, Mercury moves into Leo, and Taurus will activate the 4th house of the horoscope. This house is key for representatives of the fixed earth element. Taurus is a sign of the zodiac for whom it is vital to feel physical security, to control one's territory and to be emotionally independent. And it is through Leo, through its attributes, through the element of power and dignity, that Taurus gets the opportunity to build all this. In this case Mercury acts not as a talker, but as the architect of everyday life and personal boundaries. The restructuring of the structure of life begins: where to live, with whom, how to organize their home, who is the master of the situation. Taurus awakens the innate ability to put everything in its place, but now it goes to the level of not just comfort, but influence through the environment. An important astrological aspect is Mercury squaring retrograde Pluto in Aquarius in the 10th house. For Taurus comes a period of liberation from the dictates of external circumstances and other people's expectations. A woman born under this sign can decisively throw off the shackles of dependence on the opinion of relatives, especially if before her life was subordinated to the convenience of others, but not her own needs. Taurus man, tired of injustice in the workplace, is able to put an end to the situation that destroys his personal space and mental balance. The influence of Leo in the 4th house of the horoscope brings a sense of pride in one's lifestyle. Taurus gains the ability to live in harmony with himself and the world around him, creating a space that reflects his inner self in every detail. Furniture, odors, order and silence, everything is under his control, providing not just comfort, but also so necessary for this sign of the earth element stability of the psyche. If earlier Taurus preferred to put up with chaos for the sake of avoiding conflict, now he is ready to claim his rights. Mercury endows Taurus with the gift of persuasive speech, allowing you to clearly articulate their needs and conditions. Instead of emotional outbursts, he is able to express specific demands: I don't intend to put up with this anymore. I need it to be this way. And his voice will be heard. Taurus reaches a state where he feels himself in his place, and these are not just words, but a reality felt with his whole being. The body relaxes, the inner trembling disappears, indicating that life is getting better. On June 27, celestial Mercury forms an exact trigon with karmic Saturn, located in the sign of Pisces, which is not just a background phenomenon, but a moment of fixing the results achieved. For Taurus, the 4th, 12th and 11th houses of the horoscope are activated, indicating deep work with the internal structures of the personality, self-identity, environment and value system. The key question for Taurus is how much they allow themselves to be themselves. Saturn, the personification of reality, in this aspect with Mercury is not a punitive force, but a source of support and stability. Those Tauruses who have existed in autopilot mode for a long time can finally feel relief and tranquility. Destructive tendencies are a thing of the past, and everything alien and imposing falls away. There comes a period when it is possible to build a life in which there is no room for fear and compromise with oneself. For example, some Taurus may decide to move to a new level in the relationship with a partner, abandoning casual liaisons and formalizing a joint residence. Others will find the strength to stop tolerating a humiliating position at work and take a position that matches their true nature, without fear of change. For Taurus women, this period will be marked by a powerful karmic shift in the realm of personal relationships. The need for a partner who accepts them with all their weaknesses, does not reject or reproach them, will be satisfied. In their life will appear a person who is able to appreciate the inner core, not just the external beauty and image. It will not be a passionate romance, but a union based on mutual security and support. Taurus men will cease to be torn between a sense of duty and their innermost desires. Saturn, as the planet of responsibility, in the sign of Pisces indicates the need to live a meaningful life. The 11th house encourages you to surround yourself with people who do not drain your energy, but rather support and inspire. June 28, celestial messenger Mercury forms a harmonious trigon aspect with the mysterious Neptune, which opens before us not so much the gates of logic as the paths of soulful impulses. For representatives of the sign of Taurus, who appreciate clarity and certainty, it is time to allow the idea that in the intricacies of life there is no place for coincidence. Perhaps some higher power or something unknown leads them on the intended path. This can manifest itself as a sudden but strong feeling that points in the right direction, or as an unexpected phone call that can dramatically change the course of events. For Taurus women, the 7th house of the horoscope takes on special significance. In their relationship reigns long-awaited calm. Spouse or partner ceases to be a source of tension and pressure. The house, finally, ceases to be a battlefield and turns into a cozy refuge where you can relax body and soul. Single representatives of the sign will feel that hope is still alive, that not everything is lost in the vast expanses of fate. Perhaps before it was simply not the time for love, but now the stars favor new beginnings. For male Taurus 9th house portends a revival of interest in life in all its manifestations. Once again flares up thirst for travel, craving for new knowledge and sports achievements, openness to acquaintances and communication. The chronic feeling of exhaustion and déjà vu recedes under the pressure of the Neptunian impulse to start anew, but this time in your own way, in a completely different way. The 11th house summarizes, Taurus, as if living life on a draft, enters the era of finding meaning. Everything that happened earlier, whether joyful or sad events, was necessary as a valuable experience that will no longer be repeated. Representatives of the sign stop languishing in the waiting mode, and the gates of happiness are not just opened, they are already inside, enjoying the fullness of being. On June 29, celestial messenger Mercury lines up in opposition to the mysterious Pluto, which for Taurus marks the moment of liberation from the shackles of the past. There comes a turning point when old beliefs and habits lose their power. Mercury, passing through the sign of Leo and the 4th house of the Taurus horoscope, symbolizing home, family, and roots, comes into opposition with Pluto exerting pressure from Aquarius in the 10th house, responsible for career, social status, and public recognition. This celestial configuration indicates a decisive break with everything that prevents stability and harmony in Taurus life. This can be in many different aspects: an outdated job, a burdensome social status, an annoying mask that you have to wear in society, and even parental attitudes such as, be comfortable, or, keep a low profile, that no longer match your inner needs and aspirations. All this henceforth loses its relevance and burns in the fire of change. During this period, Taurus' key qualities of practicality, endurance, and instinctive desire for stability are at their peak. This is the time to reach out and take what is rightfully Taurus, whether it be a new opportunity, long-deserved recognition, or inner freedom from outdated beliefs.